Mr. Chairman.
Jan Logie.
Yeah, I just rise to take a short call, specifically addressing clauses 24 to 26 and the limitations on the right of appeal, and specifically for water conservation orders, and in this bill it's saying that the community cannot appeal to the Environment Court. The only rights of appeal that people will have after this bill passes is to the High Court on a point of law, which is a very significant restriction of the right of appeal. And I do want to address the minister's response to this, concerns being raised about this, where he said that the reason for limiting the right of appeal we shouldn't be worried about because he would be probably appointing a judge. He mentioned Judge Skelton to Environment Canterbury, so that those environmental judicial skills would be on that board. Now, this is not a repetition of the concerns around democracy, but it is very closely aligned to them, because we have core constitutional frameworks in this country: democracy and the rule of law and the independence of our courts. And for the minister to say, you don't need a right of appeal because I've bought your judge and I'm putting him on my council, seems to me to be an extraordinary statement and an absolute erosion of our constitutional framework, and one that needs to be really answered. I really do want to hear the minister tell us that that is not what he meant, because it is something I think that all New Zealanders should be deeply concerned about if they are to find out that a minister is so cavalier about the importance of the independence of our courts to think that he could buy that judge and put them on the decision-making panel, and that we have no need for any scrutiny or independence. And if he's saying that, or if that's not what he's saying, how is he going to assure that independence on points beyond just points of law, around the absolute, the rights that go to and the concerns that people normally take to the Environment Court? These are really, really important issues for the people of Canterbury. It's about ensuring they have the same rights as everyone else in New Zealand, and that our system is functioning effectively, because that's why we set up our system with independent courts and a democracy, was to be able to deliver for people in a way that we know works. It may not be the quickest decision making, it may not result in decisions that we always agree with, but we know that when we start eroding those systems, we actually risk everything because it's what our society is founded on, is those two core principles. And it is deeply worrying to hear them compromised so blithely by the minister in the chair. And I would refer back to, again, the comment from the Law Society, which was talking about those constitutional values and the unalterable fundamentals being our legal system and our democracy, and the independence of that legal system. And I do hope to hear the minister stand up and correct us for how we all seem to have interpreted his statements.